Well, it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video, and that's because I've been a busy boy this year. I got myself a new car since my old one broke down on me. I landed a new job at a broadcasting network, but I'm still employed at my old job so I can earn some extra cash. And I moved into a new apartment with my girlfriend since my old apartment was getting a little cluttered. So, yeah, I didn't really have time to focus on making videos for a while. But I still wanted to make content, I just didn't have the time to make longer videos with in-depth analyses anymore, if that's what you could even call my videos, so I was more active on Instagram and TikTok than I ever was before, since it requires much less work for me to make a post on those platforms. But I originally made my YouTube channel with the intent of reviewing each and every new movie that I saw, and I want to get back into doing that. So hopefully in the new year, I'll have more time to do so. And what better way to do that than to recap my favorite movies of 2022. This was quite a hard list to make, but I think I'm finally satisfied with it. Some honorable mentions include 52577, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Emily the Criminal, See How They Run, She Said, 13 Lives, The Woman King, and X. But we begin my actual list, alphabetically of course, with Apollo 10.5, A Space Age Childhood. Apollo 10.5 is a nice, nostalgic love letter to the space age, and even though I didn't personally grow up during the space race, the film still managed to resonate with my inner child. It reminded me of what it was like to be an imaginative young kid who believed that anything was possible. Plus, the colorful animation, the solid performances, and the well-written story all helped in giving the movie a sense of childlike wonder. The Bob's Burgers movie. I don't think this movie is going to appear on anyone else's top 10 list, especially for those who are unfamiliar with the series, but I don't care, because I thought this film was incredibly charming and delightful. Despite featuring a predictable plot and jokes that don't always land, the Bob's Burgers movie excels at being a fun, lighthearted, and breezy little family-friendly film. One that perfectly captures the essence of the show itself. And as someone who used to love watching the show with my family, I couldn't have asked for more. Intergalactic. Intergalactic is a wonderful little movie that features a really beautiful and unique animation style. Watching this film is like watching a more mature, laid-back, and psychedelic version of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But the mood and overall feel of Intergalactic is one of a kind, unlike anything I've ever seen before. So don't dismiss this feature as just a 90-minute music video or something Kid Cudi released just to promote his new album, because Intergalactic is a really damn good film in and of itself. It's easily one of the best animated features of the year, and I have no idea why more people aren't talking about it. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I may not have loved this movie as much as everyone else, but there's no denying that Everything Everywhere was one of the most creative, original, and inventive films of the entire year. Thematically, the movie reminds us to accept our loved ones for who they are, to stay hopeful even when life doesn't go as planned, to be kind to others even when you feel treated unfairly, and to just appreciate the small moments in life. So, for a film that deals with wild, complicated, crazy, and abstract concepts, it manages to stay grounded due to the intimate and relatable story being told. A story that itself is thematically rich and delightfully unique. Fresh. I don't care what anyone has to say about Fresh being on my top 10 list. I absolutely loved this movie, and I will not apologize for it. Although I'm usually not much of a horror film fan, Fresh just happened to scratch a certain itch of mine for the genre as a whole, though it may technically be more of a horror thriller. But regardless, I thought this movie was sharp, clever, thrilling, unsettling, darkly comedic, surprising, and engaging as hell. I didn't know what to expect while I was watching this film, but I was completely captivated by each and every moment. So, if you want to have the best experience with Fresh, I would suggest watching it blindly without knowing anything about it. That is, if you don't have a particularly weak stomach, because Fresh is a fun, albeit twisted kind of movie. Glass Onion. Glass Onion is another fantastic murder mystery that is just as good, if not better, than its predecessor. Because, much like Knives Out, Glass Onion redefines what it means to be a whodunit by playing around with all of the tropes that are associated with the genre. And of course, director Rian Johnson continues to include humor and social commentary, resulting in another really fun and compelling mystery narrative. One that feels like a complex yet entertaining puzzle itself. So Johnson has proved that Knives Out was no fluke. This is a good franchise, and I can't wait to see more of the comically absurd cases of Detective Benoit Blanc. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. This has to be the sweetest and most wholesome film that I have ever seen in my entire life. Despite being a weird and quirky little indie feature that, in all likeliness, will only be seen by niche movie fans, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is definitely a fun family film that anyone can enjoy. There may not be any exciting or fast-paced action sequences in the film, but Marcel the Shell is a smaller and more introspective feature that is literally about enjoying the little things in life. The movie also deals with love, grief, change, survival, adaptation, viral fame, community, and much more. And that's quite impressive for a film about a tiny little stop-motion character. But Marcel himself is brought to life magnificently as a fully fleshed out character who is capable of experiencing and showcasing a wide range of genuine emotions. So I absolutely loved this charming, reflective, adorable, innocent, precious, funny, and feel-good feature film. It warmed my heart, it touched my soul, and everybody should get the chance to see it. The Menu. The Menu is a stylish, clever, funny, and entertaining thriller that features a delightful cast and some insightful social commentary. Because while the movie may literally be about food, thematically, this is a film about art, consumerism, and class warfare. But whether you want to watch this movie for its themes, its delicious food shots, its cast of quirky characters, or its thrilling plot, there is plenty of enjoyment to be found here. I just happen to enjoy all of it. Nope. Nope may not be the horror flick that audiences were hoping to see, but for an original summer blockbuster, I absolutely loved it. I loved the sci-fi western feel of the film, I loved the script, which I personally found to be quite clever, I loved the portrayal of each character, I loved the beautiful cinematography, and I really loved the creature design. So if you were looking forward to watching a simple horror feature with plenty of scares, then I can understand how you might find Nope to be disappointing. But this is a thematically rich movie with a lot going on. It's a commentary on the exploitation in American culture, a throwback to classic sci-fi films of the 1950s, a love letter to film crews and movie making in general, and so much more. So Nope is more than just a typical horror film, and I enjoyed it for all of its originality. And last, but definitely not least, Top Gun Maverick. Easily my favorite movie of the year, Top Gun Maverick is an awesome summer blockbuster. This is a classically told film that reminds us of what the theatrical experience is all about. A simple story being told with grand spectacle. It just helps that the story is good and the spectacle is impressive as hell. The camera work is incredible, the action sequences are spectacular, the performances are solid, the story is surprisingly heartfelt, and everything else in the movie is really damn good too. Tom Cruise may be a madman, but he sure does know how to make an exhilarating feature. Though it came 36 years after the original film, Top Gun Maverick is easily one of the best sequels ever made. You don't even have to be a fan of the original to enjoy it, because this movie is a crowd pleaser that stands firmly on its own 2 feet. I will never forget the experience I had while watching Top Gun Maverick in theaters, and for that, it's earned the top spot on my top 10 list. So those were all my favorite movies of 2022. And before I wrap up here, I just want to say that if you watch my videos or listen to me wherever I post, and I know you personally, I'm sorry if it feels like I haven't had time for you lately. It can be hard trying to find the right balance of where to spend my time, but I hope you know that I love you, and I'm trying to do better. So, as always, thanks for watching.